Hello, everybody.
That was loud.
That was weird. My name is Dominic Moore, and I want to thank you all for tuning into the second, probably third best thing you've heard all week. We have a great show for you today that includes the top news from around the film industry, along with our assorted thoughts and opinions ranging from insightful to downright obnoxious. This is the I've Had Better Movies podcast. Let's kick it off. James, what is our first story of the day?
Our first story is actually a trailer. La La Land.
Nice.
Sounds like candy.
It does. What do you know about this film,
Or
James?
Carmelo's wife.
La La.
This is present day?
No, it's like it's
60s?
like golden age of Hollywood type stuff. Like
Oh,
probably-
so you think it's that far back?
oh, it's that far back. Yeah, it's not modern day.
Okay. Comedy drama musical with Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, and J.K. Simmons. Written by and directed by Damien Chazelle, the same director as Whiplash.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of last year.
Yep,
and
for sure.
yeah, so let's get into the trailer. For me personally, I'm not a big musical guy. This looks like a musical that I wouldn't watch. As a matter of fact, it's the IHB trailer of the week, which you can find at www.ihbpodcast.com.
Beautiful plug.
Yeah, I thought so too. It starts out with Ryan Gosling kind of whistling and a really nice tone, and then it breaks down to him singing.
And is there anything this guy can't do?
Clearly not. He's the most talented man in the world. Well, he can't direct. We know that.
That is a very fair point. I didn't think of that one.
What was the movie called? Like A River Through It or Burning River Through It? Or who cares? Because it made nothing. But I thought it looked really cool. Visually, it was impressive. And for the guy who made Whiplash to follow up
Lost River,
to follow that movie up with this musical, it takes some cojones.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, Whiplash had a lot to do with music, but was not a musical.
No, and it is dark and gritty.
Very intense.
Like, it is an emotional roller coaster. And how about J.K. Simmons? Going from, well, he's got stuff in between, but working with this guy on Whiplash, where he wins an Oscar for being a complete badass, hard-ass, I will F you up if we get into a fight, to being in a musical, to where no matter how badass he plays in this movie, it's still a musical. So the range of that guy is impressive, and good for him.
And he's also going to be Commissioner Gordon.
That would be the one. Didn't know where we were going with that.
I was hoping you were going to say it, but you didn't. So
No, I did not. But I'm glad the direction we took with that. I'm glad you followed up.
Yeah.
So, solid stuff.
I actually needed to pause to think of his name, but I just made it look like...
You played it off very well.
Thank you.
What do you think about Gosling and Emma Stone being back together in another film?
I think it's a good move. They seem like they have very good chemistry together.
Yeah, I mean, I love them in Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, Crazy Stupid Love, even though they're not really in it for that long together.
No, but they pop off the screen when they are together.
And then the
Gangster Squad.
Yeah, Gangster Squad.
Yeah, not a great movie, but when those two are together on screen, it's really good.
Yeah, it always increases when they're together.
Yeah. Do you have a particular favorite part of this trailer?
I kind of like the whole thing. I like the colors that popped throughout the trailer. I visually, it seemed interesting.
Yeah, so I think the same thing. I love the colors, like you said. The way they do the sky, and they're dancing in the starlight at one point.
Emma Stone's dress is always colorful.
Yeah, so that
she's glowing.
Yeah, it pops off the screen. Yeah, so I liked it. It was a short trailer. You don't get a whole bunch of the story. You just kind of get like, okay, she's a struggling actress. He's a successful Hollywood writer, maybe performer.
This is a jazz pianist.
Jazz pianist. So that's interesting.
Or pianist. Pianist. How do they say that?
Pretty sure you said it the same way 3 times.
Maybe. Pianist. That's 2 different ways.
There, yes, slight differences. So I liked it. Let us know what you guys thought. You can leave us a comment in the comment section below. Hit us up on Twitter at IHB Podcast, or you can send us a email to
IHBpodcast@gmail.com.
That'll one. He's getting real good with it, folks. He's getting really good.
Don't you dare ask me a different question.
You only get one. All right, it's time to move on to our next topic, which is another trailer. Oh my god! Oh, we got another one.
It's okay, guys. There's only 2 trailers.
Not a lot.
He doesn't have to do that again.
No, there's not a lot of stories this week. It's pretty, kind of dominated by Star Wars, which we'll get to talk to. But the trailer we're going to talk about right now is for Magnificent Seven, starring Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, and a whole bunch of other people.
Matt Bomer, Peter Sarsgaard, Vinnie Jones.
Oh, Vinnie Jones. He's not depicted in the trailer, though, right?
No, he's not.
Good. Glad I didn't miss him. What'd you think of the trailer?
Seemed very similar to the first one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that first teaser and this one are quite similar. Essentially, this is just an extended version of it, kind of felt like.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you what the difference is between the 2 of them. You do see more characters, I think, in this one than you do the first one. You see Peter Sarsgaard a little more. Mm-hmm. And then you get more of Chris Pratt and Denzel.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah, for me, just going through on that first view, the 2 people that stood out, you would think Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington, but for me, it was Chris Pratt and Haley Bennett, who looks like she's going to play the female lead character. Like that line where it's where she says something to the long, I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember it right offhand, but where she's like, I'm out for justice, but vengeance will do. Like that was really good. It kind of,
righteousness?
I think it might have been righteousness,
and she's getting revenge or something like that.
Right. Oh, she's out for righteousness, but revenge will do. That was a chilling line. I really like her performance so far from my scene. That kind of stoic, badass woman. I think it fits well with who I think she's going to spend a decent amount of time with in Chris Pratt, who seems goofy as all hell, but in a great way.
Yeah, it seems like a Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a Western version of that, which Guardians of the Galaxy has a little bit of a Westerns feel. Like,
yeah, I mean, you take out all the aliens in space, definitely could easily be a Western.
Mm-hmm. It's a group of outlaws coming together to do a bank robbery, essentially, and defend a town. It's very similar to this movie. I really like the way they introduced everyone. This is something they added from the teaser, where everybody got, like, the gambler, the assassin, tracker. In some trailers, that could feel a little cliched, like, oh, of course they did that. But in this one, it felt nice to, like, okay, these are the roles these guys are going to play without giving away too much about it.
Yeah, I liked how they did that, too. It was a good decision to put up the words.
Yeah.
Probably not necessary, but it was cool how they did it.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. A nice little touch.
Change the scenery.
Yeah. What do you think of Peter Sarsgaard? Or Sarsgaard?
As an actor?
Yes, as an actor and in this movie in general.
As an actor, he's pretty good. I feel like he plays a lot of the same character. Mm-hmm. In the film, I mean, I don't really know until after watching it to see if it could have been anyone that had that role. I mean, I can do without him. Yeah. But it's kind of like to take it or leave it.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of his. I don't know why. It might just be like I don't like his look. Really, he doesn't scream like believable to me. I guess, which is weird. He's a great actor, and I admire him as an actor because he really goes into his roles. But for me personally, just something about him, it always removes me from the movies he's in. So that's something I wasn't too high on. Denzel doesn't look bad. He looks like he's Denzel playing Denzel. It'll probably get better. I'm sure there's going to be more depth to it when we actually see the film, but as of right now, it feels like Denzel being Denzel. And the last thing that I want to say, and you can wrap up with whatever you want, I enjoyed the trailer until the final 20 seconds when they came in with that rap song. I don't know who it is. It's probably Kendrick Lamar or somebody like that. And I hated when they brought in the words. I thought the beat of it was great and it fit well, but as soon as you actually inserted the rap music in, the words, it just didn't fit. Like, it had a great modern Western feel without the words, and as soon as you put those in, it was like, oh.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of films are doing that in the trailers. They're trying to do it with hip-hop music, and I don't know if it's always the right decision. some movies it works,
Mm-hmm.
and some it does not. This is definitely one it won't work. I don't think it works either because it's a Western.
Yeah.
It's not hip-hop. Hip-hop wasn't around.
Yeah. That Assassin's Creed trailer had the same kind of issue. I didn't mind it as much in Assassin's Creed with the Kanye song as much as it stood out like a sore thumb in this one to me.
I agree.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Moving on.
Nice. Let us know what you guys thought about the trailer, either one of the trailers we saw, by shooting us an email to ihbpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter @ihbpodcast.
In case you have been living under a rock for the past week or so, Disney has been hosting its Star Wars celebration over in Europe with plenty of news and spoilers breaking left and right. Some of the biggest breaking news were brand new photos released from Entertainment Weekly and behind-the-scenes sizzle reel for the upcoming Rogue One film. Plus, Rian Johnson let everyone know... Ryan? Misspelling? Or is that how it's actually
No, that's how he spells it.
Oh, interesting.
I think he's foreign.
I'd hope so. Because in this country, we spell Ryan with a Y.
God damn it. America.
Plus, Rian Johnson let everyone know that for the first time ever, Episode 8 will pick up right where Episode 7 ended, with no jump time in between. What are your thoughts on everything we have learned from Star Wars Celebration? Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, they call it Star Wars Celebration.
Weak name.
A little bit. Overall, first off, super disappointing we didn't get a Rogue One trailer. The sizzle reel is nice, but I wanted a trailer. I needed a trailer. I was yearning for a trailer.
It's just going to make you want one even more when it comes out.
No, I don't think so.
I think it will.
Maybe.
Easily convinced.
A little bit. I mean, it's Star Wars. It doesn't take a whole bunch to convince me. So I was disappointed at the no trailer. Sizzle reel, as far as that goes, the biggest thing I think it confirmed for everybody is when all those thoughts of the reshoots and all that came out and people were like, oh, they're trying to get a lighter tone. This sizzle reel looked like a war movie. Like, it's gritty, and it has moments where, like, the stormtroopers are, like, on a tank-looking thing, and there are people, like, crawling over dirt and in the rain, and that looked intense.
Yeah, it did. It was a smart move on their part to release what they did.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that kind of caught my attention, I love the redesign of the stormtroopers from Episode 7, but damn did these stormtroopers look cool. Especially the death troopers, like the all blacked out ones.
Anything murdered out looks good.
It really does. So that was my favorite part. I love Felicity Jones. I love her look, and it goes beyond just the fact that she's an attractive woman. I love her look in the movie, the way her wardrobe is put together and all that. But damn, does she have some corny lines so far. And I hope they fit a lot better in the movie, and I think they will. But that line where she says, "May the Force be with us," in kind of a sarcastic tone, I didn't like that. I felt it was a weird read, and also it kind of messes up the mythology for me. Because in the original Episode 4, nobody really talks about the Force or anything like that except for Obi-Wan and Luke. And they mention it to Harrison Ford as Han Solo, but he's like that mumbo-jumbo or whatever he calls it. So when she says this, I'm wondering if she's just going to call that out of nowhere or where that reference is coming from. Because to my knowledge, she doesn't run into Obi-Wan or Luke or anyone in this movie. I mean, presumably she'll run into Princess Leia by the end, but at that point, Leia doesn't know what the Force is and all that.
My favorite photo is Ben Mendelsohn's photo, just because he looks super devious.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be badass, and he's a great actor, and he could be like reciting in a children's lullaby and sound menacing.
Yeah, his voice is perfect.
Yeah. And where can you find those photos at that you're looking at, James?
www.ihbpodcast.com.
That's the one. Yeah, go ahead. All 9 of those or 10 of those photos that popped up that were released from Entertainment Weekly can be found. And one other thing I want to talk about from the sizzle reel, I liked what at one point in the film you hear Gareth Edwards talk, who is directing this film, and he talks about how the difference between paying respect to the movies he loved as a kid and wanting to kind of recreate them, but at the same time taking risk and doing something different. And that's really interesting considering a lot of people's issues with episode 7 was it was just a rehash of episode 4.
Yeah, I think Disney's also okay with him taking step to make a different film because it isn't episode 8.
Yeah, it's not one of the saga films.
Yeah, which I'm completely fine with.
I buy the sizzle reel. I love the photos. The fact that we didn't get a trailer bugs me. You got any thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I think everyone really wants a trailer, but for it being July, I guess it's time for a trailer. I mean...
Yeah, because we've only had the one.
Yeah. We only got, 5 months? Going into August here?
I think that's math, yeah.
Yeah. Don't question my math.
I mean, Jesus, we have like 12 different Suicide Squad trailers.
Yeah, that's unnecessary, though. Well,
but at the same time, they've done a great job of revealing nothing in those trailers.
Yeah, you're still very confused on the plot.
Yeah, like I have no idea what...
You know who's in the movie,
exactly,
for the most part. But yeah, the plot, I've got nothing.
Yeah, so let's hope that both of those movies turn out to be great.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
I don't think so either. All right, next story. According to Deadline, Michael Keaton's The Founder will be getting a more friendly Oscar release date as it has now been pushed back to December 16th, 2017, with its nationwide run happening in January 2018. 17. That's how math works. One after the other. The film tells the story of Ray Kroc and his transformation into one of the most powerful fast food empires the world has ever seen. What do you think of the change? And is this the year Keaton finally takes home a golden statue?
I want to say yes, because I think he deserves one, but I don't know if this is the movie that he gets it with.
You're not a fan of the trailer you've seen so far?
Not really.
Really?
I think he looks great in it. It's just, I think the story I don't really care about.
That's fascinating, because I'm on the really other end of the spectrum. Like, it's a story that going in, I was like, I don't care about this, but then you see that trailer and it's like, oh wow. It makes me care about how McDonald's was made. The relationship between Nick Offerman and his brother who owned McDonald's at the time and Ray Kroc, and how he kind of like, he seems like that guy you hate but at the same time kind of root for in this movie. And also, granted it's super early, but I can only name like one real Oscar contender from an acting performance that I would think of right now. And that was for supporting actor from John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Everything else, I can't name you anything right now. And like Leo's is not going to have a movie this year. Redmayne's not going to have a movie this year. Some of the big heavy hitters, Cumberbatch won't have a movie this year that's in the running. Fassbender won't have a movie that's in the running. Oh, he might actually. There's that one movie he's got with Emma Watson, I think. I could be wrong on that, but whatever. It's not worth looking up.
Well, I'm curious now. With Emma Watson?
It could be. I know it's a young woman.
My Emma Watson?
Yes, James, your Emma Watson.
The Light Between Oceans.
That would be it, I think.
Alicia Vikander.
Oh, that's it. I knew it was somebody I loved who was short and awesome.
It's good to know there's only about 2 of those.
Yeah, so, I mean, that maybe has a chance, but I think that's a super out there pick. And, like, I just don't know of anything else that's coming on the horizon. This is the only one that I know that's, like, Oscar contender immediately right now. And granted, I'm probably overlooking some, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love McDonald's. I'm a big fan of the Big Mac. Secret sauce is amazing. I just the story doesn't do it for me.
Hey, and it's not going to hit with everybody. There's also a chance that, like, he might just get one as, like, a career thing. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes people win when they're not in their best movie, but just because, like, a combination of weak competition, and then it's like he needs one because he's had an insane run over these last couple of years.
Yep, and I want to be proven wrong. I hope he gets one. Yeah, because he deserves one.
Yeah, I mean, between this, Spotlight, Birdman, he's had a killer couple of years.
Yeah, even though Birdman's a weird film.
Yes, it is.
So weird.
Yeah, like. And I can't say I particularly loved it, but part of me, like, while watching it, like, I was I never really looked away.
I thought the music was the best part.
Yeah, the music was pretty solid.
Good stuff.
All right. On to our last official story of the day, which I'm so happy you were reading.
All right.
Conviction, James.
Set your phasers to stun. Ingley. Good looking.
It doesn't work if you separate it that horribly, Shatner. Put it together.
Set your phasers to stunningly?
Screw it. I'm going to do the intro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Set your phasers to stunningly good looking.
See, you're better at me.
Yeah, I'm always better than you.
Not cool.
You gonna read the rest of it?
No, I thought you were going to do the whole thing.
No one was doing the intro.
Star Trek Beyond premieres this weekend, but rumors are already swirling about what the potential story could be for a franchise's fourth installment. According to multiple sources, J.J. Abrams said that Chris Hemsworth may return as George Kirk, Chris Pine's character's father, for the next film. Hemsworth previously appeared in the first Star Trek back in 2009, pre-Thor fame, and boy did they get lucky with that casting. What are your thoughts on potential of Hemsworth back on the USS Enterprise?
I think it's a really good idea, and it makes total sense. Like, back then, Hemsworth, it was practically his first movie, and now you watch it, and it's like, holy crap, they got that guy to be in a 2-minute part, and he goes down like a hero, and it's super memorable, and it kind of set the tone for the entire movie.
And the second one.
Yeah, and the third one, because in the trailer, his opening line is he joined Starfleet because of who his father was, and he's been chasing a legacy or whatever. So the idea that they're going to be together on screen, it is super intriguing to me. It's going to mean another mashup to the timeline, probably, which...
Yeah, the whole time travel thing is just a confusing clusterfuck.
Yeah, so... but I think it's super interesting. And I think that's a great way to take the franchise. Because rumors are that this weekend, I'm going to see it this weekend, and it premiered today, that it's really good, and a fourth installment can get a little stale. By introducing something like this, to me, reinvigorates it. Like, I'm honestly more excited to see 4 right now than I am to see 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Chris Hemsworth, he may not be the best actor, but it changes the way the story could be played out if he's in this.
That, and he worked great in an ensemble. Like
the Avengers.
Yeah, and the cast of Star Trek, no matter if you like these movies or not, they're solid. Like, Zoe Saldana is good, Chris Pine, who I really like. He's got some misses, but for the most part in Star Trek, I think he's done well. Zachary Quinto is a good Spock. Carl Urban is a great Bones. Unfortunately, we lost Anton Yelchin this year, who plays Chekhov, so that's going to suck.
Yeah.
So he won't be in the fourth one. He'll be in the third one, I believe. Most of his shooting should have been done by then. But and Simon Pegg too. So I think this sounds dope.
Yeah, I really like Simon Pegg in these movies.
Yeah, he plays a really good Scott, and he wrote the third one.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And the idea that J.J. Abrams, because he's been an executive producer. There's no, they haven't said if he's going to be returning to direct this, but with that much involvement, it sounds like it's something that he wants to do, maybe.
Yeah, definitely, because is he done with Star Wars?
He is consulting and all that, but the way it works is he did episode 7, Rian Johnson was doing 8. And Rian Johnson came in at the end and was kind of consulting with Abrams on 7, okay, this is what I want to do in 8, so why don't we do this in yours? To set up this
for,
Yeah, so now and Abrams is now helping Johnson with 8. But once 8 is over, Johnson will then go on to the next guy with Colin Trevorrow, who did Jurassic World, and he'll do what J.J. Abrams did. And then J.J. Abrams, because he's kind of helped build this, he'll sprinkle in here or there, but... So, rumor is that's the process.
So, is there potential that he could direct this fourth?
I think there is, and to be honest, I would. That sounds like a dope setup.
Yeah, I mean...
I've now used dope twice.
And not in the movie reference.
No, thank God, because we have not seen that still.
Nope. And that also rhymes with dope.
Yep. All right, what do you guys think of the idea of Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, returning to the Star Trek universe in a much larger capacity? Is this something you're into? Is this something you're not? Let us know in the comment section below, or hit us up on Twitter at IHB Podcast. Remember to throw the hashtag IHB Movies on there if you want us to see it directly. That way we can follow and keep a stream going, and maybe even we'll reach back out to you. All right, well, that's it. Pretty much. Those are the main stories for today. We're going to wrap it up here with stuff we didn't have time for because not a whole lot to say about these next two topics aside from like, hey, this is happening.
Let's be honest, we had time for it, but there's nothing else to talk about.
Pretty much. So, plus, hey, it's always easier for me when I don't have to painstakingly stay up till 2 a.m. to do these for you guys. But in the crap we didn't have time for this week, J.K. Rowling already has her script done for the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which premieres this November. And in our next crap we didn't have time for, brand new images from Kong Skull Island featuring a massive skull and Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson and more hit the internet this week. James, of these two topics, which one interests you more?
The sequel for Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah?
I am a closet Harry Potter movie fan.
Really?
Yeah.
This is something I did not know about you, which is odd. We were on a podcast together, and I didn't know you were that big of a Harry Potter fan.
Movie fan.
Haven't
read the books.
Okay.
Don't worry. Keep that clear.
Don't worry, James. Nobody's going to hurt your cred out here.
I don't read books, okay? Yeah, I'm actually really, really excited to see the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So the sequel being done kind of makes me happy.
Yeah, and I think it's going to make decent money. Like, it's going to get a sequel, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a third. I'm super excited for it, too. Mainly, I like Eddie Redmayne, but I'm super excited to see Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell is one of those actors for me. Like, anything he's in, I want to see.
Yep. I could probably go through his IMDb page, and I've seen almost every one of his movies.
I'm a little disappointed because I missed The Lobster. It wasn't showing in any of the theaters around me, and I've heard really weird things about it. I kind of want to go check it out, but I think I'd have to drive like 45 minutes to see it.
We'll get it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll bring it over.
Nice. All right. Well, for me, by default, I'm going to talk about this Kong Skull Island. It's up on our Twitter page, at IHB Podcast, and also on the Facebook page. It's a cool photo. It's got Tom Hiddleston looking like a badass. Brie Larson is beautiful as always. And then it's got a massive, gigantic skull behind it. This thing, if it was sitting on its jaw like you normally see a skull, it's probably 30 feet high, something like that. So
massive.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of how big King Kong could be. And they have to do that because they're planning to do the fight with Godzilla in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And we already saw from Gareth Edwards, who we talked about earlier, he did the first Godzilla with Elizabeth Olsen. We're going to go with her. She's not the lead, but I can't remember. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
There we go. With Aaron Taylor Johnson. And we saw that Godzilla is massive. So, like this gets me excited for Kong Skull Island.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see a trailer, and I need to see one soon. Like just a little teaser, maybe. But
like a 2-minute teaser. That's all we're asking for. It's not much.
I ask for a lot. But yeah, I really like this photo. Let us know what you guys thought about either one of these topics. Hit us up on Twitter. Or you guys can Google more information about either one of these yourselves. Because that's what crap I didn't have time for means. All right, let's pull this boat into harbor. I want to thank you all.
Is that your dirty talk?
It is. I want to thank you all for tuning in this week. If you enjoyed the show, please like this episode and subscribe to the I've Had Better Podcast Network. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at IHB Podcast. And on Facebook, go like the I've Had Better Podcast page. James, tell the people where they can find you.
Love the long pause. Totally worth it. Suspense is building. I am James Langos, and you can follow me on Twitter at _Kaiser_Soze or on Facebook as Jimmy Langos. And please check out the website, www.ihbpodcast.com. And please subscribe and rate to our iTunes. And you can find that by searching, apparently, our names.
Yeah.
IHB Podcasts, IHB Movies, and I've Had Better podcast.
Yeah, all of those will, in theory, will send you right to us, and then you can give us a rating. Please, if you don't mind, just drop by, give us a 5 stars, and drop a comment saying you like or listen to the show. It really helps down the line when we try to maybe get a little bit bigger and can expand, maybe add some video, make the viewing and listening experience of this podcast that much better. Plus, it's a real ego boost for me. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
But as always, I am Dominic Damore. You can follow me on Twitter at Dom Damore or on Facebook as Dominic Damore. James, how was your show this week?
I've had better.
Good night, everybody.